Hey guys, so in this video, I want to give you a little bit of value by talking about 5 Pokemon investing mistakes I've made in my journey. And then I want to talk a little bit about, something I'm seeing in this space on YouTube. And I don't really know how I feel about it, so I kind of want to just get my thoughts out there and get some feedback from you guys. But yeah, I guess we'll start off with the mistakes. So mistake number one, buying bad products. I bought check-lane blisters. I bought 3-pack blisters. I bought collector's chests before. All of those were just really bad investments. They're liquid. They were hard to move. People didn't want to buy tins. And again, I bought a lot of these products because at the time it seemed like a really good deal. And it kind of was when you broke it down, per pack value or whatever inside. I still think there's a place to buy ancillary products, especially towards the end of a life cycle. For example, if you're buying Fusion Strike or Lost Origin ancillary products right now at MSRP or around MSRP, it's probably a good time to be buying them. Also, if you have connections or you have a way to sell them, that's great as well. If you don't, just stick to booster boxes and ETBs. It's probably best. Mistake number two, not buying a little bit of every release. So for example, last year, you guys know Twilight Masquerade. I wasn't a fan of the set. I thought it was going to do really bad. I actually canceled some of my pre-orders. And that's the second best booster box set in Scarlet and Violet era right now. So that was definitely a mistake. Mistake number three, not buying from the right places. So when I was buying a ton of my Sword and Shield booster boxes, I bought a lot of them from the Pokemon Center, even though on places like Hobbiesville and a couple other stores, they're probably a couple dollars cheaper. And especially, when you consider 1% in-store credit and, 1% back in shop cash, it probably would have made sense just to buy everything on Hobbiesville. But I wasn't super comfortable putting $20,000-$30,000 into orders on Hobbiesville and these third-party sites at the time. And I bought through Pokemon Center instead. And the irony of that is, if I would have bought through Hobbiesville, I probably would have got better looking product just because when you buy from the Pokemon Center, they just pull a case out, they slap a label on it, and they ship it. And in Canada, it comes FedEx, and FedEx is really rough with product. So all my cases are really beat up. So just make sure you buy from good places. Hobbiesville is great. Catch a Card in Canada as well is awesome. Tons of other places as well that I can't think of at the top of my head. Mistake number four, not going bigger into obvious plays. So for example, when I was buying a lot of my Sword and Shield booster boxes, at my peak, I had 28 boxes of Fusion Strike, I had 31 of Lost Origin, I had 56 boxes of Brilliant Stars, 23 of Chilling Reign, I had some booster bundles as well. But, at the time, I still had $25,000 that I could have put towards more booster boxes. And, when I was buying all that stuff, I really believed in those sets. I knew that Chilling Reign had already gone out of stock, so I figured it was going to be, fairly quickly that Fusion Strike and all these other sets went out. It just made sense. It was a good time to do it. And this was before I even started YouTube, like back in late 2023. But I probably should have just put more money into it, right? I wanted to save some money at the time for potential other investments, but I never really did anything with that money. And if I would have put that into something like Fusion Strike, or even if I would have split it with Fusion Strike and Lost Origin, it would have been, closer to $50,000-$60,000 now that I'd had instead of, $25,000 that I didn't really put into anything. So again, just be smart with your money. Obviously don't go all in on Pokemon. That's dumb. But, just if you feel good about something, you feel confident in a play, just double down on it. Listen to your gut. That was something that I didn't do all the time. It kind of ties into point number five, being overly influenced by other people. So, at the time, a couple of people that I were listening to and taking advice from said Brilliant Stars was great. I bought more Brilliant Stars than I did Fusion Strike or Lost Origin. I probably should have just went evenly across the board, or knowing what I know now, depth is less relevant than top hits. So, if I knew now what I knew back then before I bought everything, I would have just went super heavy into Fusion and Lost Origin. I would have got a little bit of Brilliant Stars and a little bit of Chilling Reign as well, but I would have definitely went heavier into Lost Origin and Fusion Strike. And obviously, Evolving Skies have been out for a long time, so that's why I didn't really get too much of that. But yeah, that's number five, being overly influenced by other people. And that kind of ties into what I want to talk about, or just get out in this video, because I'm seeing it a lot in this hobby. So I'll start this off by saying that Pokemon investing on YouTube is a very niche community. There's not a lot of people, right? And it is fairly easy to get views in this hobby just because it's not huge. And comparatively, say you want to make a gaming channel on YouTube. Gaming is very saturated. It's very difficult to stand out in the gaming niche. And it's very difficult to basically build a brand and a channel. You have to, not only have entertaining content. So if you're, doing a gaming channel in that niche or whatever, gameplay is really important. Having a good personality, thumbnails need to be on point, SEO needs to be on point, which again is descriptions, thumbnail, title, everything, right? Like everything has to be good for you to break through. But in something like Pokemon investing, and I did have a YouTube channel. I still do have a YouTube channel. Before I start Pokemon investing, this Poke Profit channel, and I did it more as a hobby, but I built it up to like 8,000. No, maybe not that much. 7,000, I think, subscribers now, or it's around that. I really don't upload to that channel much anymore. Um, but in the Pokemon investing niche, I felt like it was really easy to break through and to start a channel and to get a few thousand subscribers and get views. If you guys go back and watch my old videos, they're really bad. Like the audio's bad. I started recording when I was in Bogota. I recorded on, I believe I had a microphone with me, my DJI mic, but the audio was really bad. I mean, if you've ever been to Colombia or basically anywhere in South America, especially in the big cities, they're super loud. Like everyone honks their horns 24/7. I don't understand it, but the audio was just terrible. Even still, that and screen captures and me with limited knowledge about the hobby, still learning at the time, like I would still able to get some views. And, I'm super grateful for everyone who watched back then and still watches the videos. I appreciate you guys all. Like seriously, like it's, Pokemon investing, Poke Profit, it's really changed my life for the better. And I see a lot of people now on YouTube who started off in the Pokemon investing niche, or were in basically the Pokemon capitalist market, I guess, if that's like a broad enough term to use. Basically, people making money, selling cards or investing in cards, whatever. I see a lot of people now starting to talk about content and promote content and kind of shifting their channels away from this niche to broader niches. And I think that's a really good idea, especially if you want to take, YouTube more seriously. And, for a lot of people, like selling product is tough, right? Like I resold full time for over a year. I sold video games, collectibles, but I specialized in Amazon. I did a lot of like Nintendo stuff, specifically handhelds like GBAs, 3DSs, Switches, and it's time consuming, right? It's difficult, and Pokemon's probably not as bad just because there's really isn't no cleaning process and refurbishment of items, but it's still really difficult to constantly have to pack orders to deal with customers. YouTube's really easy. You turn a camera on, you start talking to it, and afterwards you basically upload a video. You can edit it as well, but again, like I don't edit super heavy. There are some channels that edit really well and do a lot of great work, but it's super time consuming, right? But you don't have to do that. You can just record a video, as long as your audio is good, you have something of value to talk about, you'll do well. And again, for a lot of these people, I think it's fine, especially if they want to take YouTube more seriously and just move away from Pokemon and, focus on creating their own brand. And people probably don't realize, especially if you've never done YouTube before, that you can make a lot of money on YouTube. And if you start a channel in Pokemon investing, you're probably not going to make too much money. To give you an example, my RPM is basically how many dollars you get paid for 1,000 views. It's close to like $6.30, I think last time I checked Canadian. It's like $5 USD. And again, that might be low for some channels. But if you make content around building a business, or you make content around, well, I guess investing is still really high, but building a business, online marketing and stuff like that, creating email lists, all of that sort of stuff, that probably even has a higher RPM, probably closer to $10, $8 Canadian, $9, something like that. So, I see these people promoting content and telling everyone to create content. I think it's a good idea if you do have a business, right? But I just feel now like it's getting close to, how do I explain this? So back in like 2020, I actually started a social media brand where I had over 150,000 followers. It was based around learning English. The page is still up on Instagram if someone really wants to go try and find it. And, at the time, there are lots of people like Vanessa Lau and a lot of other YouTubers that basically made videos telling other people how to build brands, even though that was building their brand. And to me, it kind of just seemed like a pyramid scheme at a certain point. Like you would just watch all these creators and they really weren't giving you any value. And that's kind of how I feel nowadays about a lot of these people in Pokemon that have built up businesses talking about content creation. Not that they have anything they don't have anything good to say, because a lot of them give really good advice. A lot of them make really good content, way better than my content, and that's why they're doing super well. But I just feel like it's getting to a point now where like way too many people are suggesting for everyone else to do content. Doing content can be great, but starting out sucks. You put in thousands of hours for little return unless you pop off out of nowhere. So you have to be very consistent. You have to be willing to eat shit for multiple years. And I just wish that all these people telling other people to do content right now to maybe just start telling people how shitty it is at first. Because again, for a lot of people, it's very difficult to break through, especially if you're in a saturated niche. Again, I got lucky in Pokemon investing. It's a very small niche, and that's why the growth has been slow. Also, my content just sucks compared to a lot of other people, not just in terms of the editing and post production, but also just what I have to say compared to a lot of other people probably isn't as high a value for some people, and that's perfectly fine, right? That's understandable, but just I don't know. I just wish people would caution others on creating content just so people who get into this know what they're getting into, right? Because I want people to start YouTube channels. I want people to do well on YouTube, but just know what you're getting into, because it's not going to be easy out the gate. It's going to be very fucking difficult. It's probably going to be one of the hardest things you've ever done if you've never done anything like this before. There is a huge learning curve at the start. And, people just go into it with way too high of expectations as well, because you can make a ton of money. Like, there are people, even in this niche, that are probably making full-time incomes or close to it, depending on where they live now, based on like AdSense and affiliates and brand deals and stuff like that. But it takes a lot to get up to that level. And if you come out the gate expecting to basically make that, or no one tells you the difficulties that you're going to face, it's going to discourage a lot of people. So I don't know. I just feel like we're in a really weird place where everyone's promoting it, but no one's talking about, just what to expect and what to go through. And I don't know, it almost feels like a pyramid scheme at this point, where everyone hires promoting to the people below them how to start it. And you kind of just see that, right? Like the OGs of social media and brand building told, certain people in certain niches, and then as they get bigger, basically move into, brand building and marketing and social media, and they kind of just shift their niche, and then people under them do the same thing. So that's all I wanted to get out here. You guys let me know in the comments down below if you think I'm off base, but thank you so much for watching the video. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Stay safe wherever you are in the world, and I'll catch you in the next one.